So BSc second, so there will be a practical, particularly based on the theory papers. So generally, many of the practicals has shifted from BSc part third to BSc part second. So here there is one practical. Today practical is on micro technique. Micro technique, or you can say it is also treated as a microtomy. Microtomy. So this is a very, you can say, very important practical in case of to study the cells of the body or tissue of the body. So many of the tissue. What do you mean by microtomy or microtechnique? Now microtomy is nothing but by which the slides will be prepared and that will useful for observation of the cell of the body or tissue of the body. So tissue observation. So by this technique we can study the particular tissue. So here micro technique has been observed in case of in human being to find out the carcinogenic or cancer. So how the cancer will be get detected? So that procedure is nothing but the micro technique. So preparation of the slides of the tissue of any animal, so that can be observed at the microscope. Finally, by staining the technique used within that particular procedure, and that is called as a micro technique. So here what we have to do, suppose if you take a rat tissue we can use for the microtomy. In case of advanced research technique in human or you can say the medical science concerned with the human being, if there is a development of any vaccine, so we are treating or we are using that vaccine firstly on mice. You know, mice, that is white rat. So that white rat is used for experimental purposes, and many researchers are many researchers are using such a animal, that is the mammal, and then that vaccine will be treating or given to the human being. So likewise this branch micro technique or microtomy, so this is very important practical in case of zoology students. So come to point. So what is the technique? What the animal used for this technique, or which animal is used for this technique? So first one, the rat. You can say the rat is the animal we are using for this technique. So the living rat. So living rat. So you have to catch this rat by the rat cages. So inside the rat cages we can put the bhaji or any food material, so which is having the oil appearance. So if you are putting the bhaji inside the rat cages and put it in godowns or where the grain storage is there, so in that area the rats are plenty. So we can get that rat early in the morning from that cages, then transport that rat in a wire bag, and this wire bag, so immediately we can hold. After removal of the rat inside the wire bag, and we can catch that rat head, and we can disturb by stunning technique or by any weighted material will beat that particular rat and damage his brain. So while damaging the brain, so what will happen? That technique is treated as killing by stunning technique. Killing by stunning technique. Stunning technique. That is, एखाद्या उंदराला आपण वायर बॅग मध्ये घातलं, त्याला एका कोपऱ्यामध्ये आणायचं आणि त्याच्या डोक्यावरती एखाद्या जाड हत्यारानं किंवा एखाद्या जाड हातोड्यानं त्याच्यावरती मारायचं and disturb his brain and make it unconscious. Unconscious करायचा, त्याला complete killing करायचं नाही, unconscious करायचा, paralyze करायचा, and automatically that rat will be dissected very fast. We have to dissect the rat, take in a dissecting tray, and remove the different organs, the esophagus, then stomach, then intestine, small intestine, large intestine, liver, pancreas, testes, ovary, like this. So all these organs of that animal will get dissected and put it into a particular fixative. So that is called as cornice fixative. Cornice fixative. Cornice fixative, or you can say the formalin fixative. So in that cornice fixative, we have to put them to avoid the post-mortem changes. After dissecting out, so there will be some post-mortem changes takes place in the animal tissue, so that will be get avoided. So that immediately put it into cornice fixative solution, and after that you have to put for you have to pass for dehydration. So you have to dehydrate that particular tissue. कारण इथं डायरेक्ट आपण तो पार्ट त्या सोल्युशन मध्ये टाकतोय, तर त्याच्यामध्ये पाणी काढण्याचं काम म्हणजे डिहायड्रेशन. तर हे डिहायड्रेशन करायला पाहिजे. सो डिहायड्रेशन प्रोसेस, बिफोर दॅट यू हॅव टू पास that particular tissue in 30% alcohol, 30% alcohol. Then you have to put this 30% alcohol for 10 minutes. Then 50% alcohol, that is for 20 minutes. Then 70% alcohol, that is for 30 minutes. Then 90% alcohol, that is for 45 minutes, and then 100% alcohol, that is for 1 hour. So like this you have to pass that material, each and every material. So that may be the esophagus, that may be the testes, that may be the ovary, or that may be the any other material. So that all materials will be passed through these stages of the alcohol gradation. So that is treated as a dehydration. Dehydration. This process is called as dehydration of the material. तर त्या मटेरियलचं डिहायड्रेशन करायचं म्हणजे त्यातलं पाणी काढून टाकायचं, आणि हे पाणी काढल्यानंतर इथं लास्ट स्टेजला क्लोराईड. तर हे मटेरियल झायलिनचा वॉश दिल्यानंतर इमिजिएटली क्लोराईड मध्ये टाकायचं. क्लोराईड म्हणजे काय? सो दॅट इज क्लोराईड लवंग तेल. यालाच आपण लवंग तेल म्हणतो. लवंग तेल. तर ह्या लवंग तेलाची खासियत अशी आहे. What is the importance of chloride? The chloride is a transparent. The chloride will protect the material from fungus. The external fungus or bacterial attack will not be there, and it will not changes the structural, or you can say there will not be any change in the particular टिश्यू. त्या टिश्यू वरती कुठलाही परिणाम होणार नाही. that tissue will be as it is. हा आपण दुसरं तेल का वापरत नाही? तर क्लोराईड आणि दुसऱ्या तेलामध्ये हा फरक आहे. सो दिस इज particularly disinfectant, or it will not allow any disease or any bacterial or viral infection to that material, and it will be preserved for more than many years, you can say. So after that, if you want to do the experiment or further experiment, so that you can do when you want. So up to that the preservation will be there. किती दिवसांनी, वर्षानं, 2 वर्षानं, 10 वर्षानं जरी आपलं मटेरियल घेतलं तुम्ही आणि त्याची पुढली प्रोसिजर केली तरी तुम्हाला आहे असं मटेरियल वापरता येतं. सो आफ्टर that if you have kept that material in a chloride, and now we can start the new procedure, further procedure, how to prepare the slime. आता ह्या क्लोराईड मधलं मटेरियल काढायचं आहे आपल्याला. इंटेस्टाइन किंवा स्टमक वगैरे असं काढायचं आहे आणि त्याचं पुढली स्लाइड्स तयार करायची. यू वांट टू डू द परमनंट स्लाइड प्रिपरेशन. तर आता कसं करायचं? सो हियर यू हॅव टू गेट द मटेरियल फ्रॉम क्लोराईड. क्लोराईड मधलं मटेरियल घेतलं. क्लोराईड मटेरियल that you have to proceed here. Clear in xylene. Clear in xylene. Xylene मध्ये क्लिअर करायचं. परत म्हणजे यामध्ये टाकत असताना सुद्धा आपण xylene वापरलेलं आहे. and after further process, so again we have to clear in xylene to remove the chloride from the material. इथं क्लोराईड मटेरियल मधून रिमूव्ह करण्यासाठी xylene वापरतो आणि याच्यापूर्वी अल्कोहोल मटेरियल मधून रिमूव्ह करण्यासाठी xylene वापरतो. असं 2 ठिकाणी आपण xylene वापरलेलं आहे आणि तिसऱ्या वेळेला सुद्धा आपण xylene वापरणार आहे. कधी? फायनल प्रोसिजर किंवा फायनल स्लाइड तयार करायच्या वेळेला सुद्धा xylene मध्ये वापरायचं. सो that the material you have to proceed. So again you have to go for hydration. बघा. So here you have to go for hydration. We have kept the material by doing the dehydration to remove the water from the material. Again we are adding the water in the material. बघा काय इथं water आपण ऍड करतो. तर water ऍड करण्याचं काम एवढंच आहे की याच्यातलं एक स्टेन जे आहे, हिमॅटोझायलिन नावाचं स्टेन आहे, ते हिमॅटोझायलिन स्टेन हे वॉटर मीडियम मध्ये आहे आणि ते स्टेन करण्यासाठी आपण इथं डबल स्टेनिंग टेक्निक करतोय. डबल स्टेनिंग टेक्निक. सो वी आर डूइंग हियर डबल स्टेनिंग टेक्निक. तर हे डबल स्टेनिंग टेक्निक करण्यासाठी तुम्हाला हायड्रेशन कडे जावं लागतं. So you have to go for hydration, and this hydration procedure will be again 30%. 100% अल्कोहोल मध्ये सुरुवातीला जायचं then 50% alcohol for 25 minutes, and then 30% alcohol for 30 minutes. So likewise, we are added the water in the material, or we are adding the material water in the material. तर इथं पाणी त्याच्यामध्ये पूर्ण आलेलं आहे, and then you have to go after 30 minutes 30% alcohol, you have to keep in hematoxylin stain. Hematoxylin हे निळ्या रंगाचं स्टेन आहे. Hematoxylin stain मध्ये you have to keep for 10 to 15 minutes. You have to keep that material in hematoxylin for 10 to 15 minutes. So here afterwards, then you have to remove that and again goes to the 30%. Again the next step, that is 30%, then 50%, then 70%, then here another stain will be added. Here the another stain will be added. Here the hydration नंतर आपण पुढे चाललेला आहे. हायड्रेशन नंतर इथं 10 मिनिटं आपण 30% मध्ये ठेवलं, 20 मिनिट 50% मध्ये ठेवलं. आता इथं 70% अल्कोहोलिक इओसिन मध्ये ठेवायचं आहे. अल्कोहोलिक इओसिन हे स्टेन आहे. या स्टेन मध्ये 10 मिनिट ठेवायचं आहे. 10 मिनिट्स अल्कोहोलिक इओसिन मध्ये ते मटेरियल ठेवायचं आहे. And afterwards you have to pass that material to the 90%, and here you have to observe the slide. तर इथं स्लाइड ऑब्झर्व करायची. इथं स्लाइड ऑब्झर्व करताना तुम्हाला त्या मटेरियलचं स्टेनिंग झालेलं आहे का नाही, दोन्ही प्रकारचं डबल स्टेनिंग झालेलं का नाही, हेमॅटोक्सालिन इज देअर or not, and cytoplasm is there or not. So hematocyanin is a nuclear stain and cytoplasmic stain, that is eosin. So eosin and hematocyanin, so both stain is there or not, you have to observe the slide here after 90%. And if it is good, then proceed the next step, that is 100% alcohol, then clearing xylene, and that you have to mount in BPX. Mount in BPX. BPX is the mounting medium, and in that you have to mount that particular section of the material. It may be the intestine section, or it may be the particularly so this procedure may follow after getting the ribbon. So ribbon formation, when there is a ribbon formation of that material, so before that if you get the material from this, then you have to come to the dehydration, and after dehydration you have to go for block preparation. So block preparation is the middle process. So that block preparation, that is called as a hot impregnation. So there is another 60% heating wax is there. So in that injection vials, you have to pour the melted wax of 60% melting point. So in that you have to put the particular tissue sections and tissue pieces, and afterwards you have to forward that particular 60% maintaining temperature of the oven. It will be continue up to 1 hour, or some tissues may require half an hour. So within that, afterwards you have to make the cigarette packets blocks, the square the cigarette packet block. So here you have to pour the wax and then put it into a particular intestine or any tissue piece, and afterwards pull the block of particular wax. And afterwards, after 1.5 hours, so that block will be, a wax block will be, you can say, ready for the next process. So after that, you have to remove the particular paper of the cigarette block, and then you have to trim. So then next procedure is trimming. So trimming the particular tissue as like this, and the material will be directed like this, and finally this block will be fitted to the wooden block and then put it into Microtechnic machine. And that is microtome machine, which has the particular size of 2 micron or 3 micron or 4 micron likewise. So as you wish, that much micron size you keep and get the sectioning, and that sections will be get passed through this process. So that sections will be put it into slide or over the slide by applying the albumin to the slide, or by putting that sections in a warm water. The particular wax will be become a plane and the section will be at the center. So likewise there will be fixation of the sections to the slide, and then this remaining procedure will be carried out, and finally there will be the slide of that particular organ will be get to observe under the microscope. So this is nothing but the Microtechnic, and that you have to write. I will send the notes along with this lecture to the particular students for getting the writing material inside the particular journal. So that I will also provide along with this lecture the notes of that particular process. So okay, thank you.